We're here with Johnny Nelson in a place you're quite familiar with, Sheffield, for the press conference of Chris Eubank Jr, Tony Jetta. What did you make of that press conference?
It's good. I think it's Angelo Dundee said it's not part of it about the fight, but it's also about the matchmaking as well. And so I think for Junior, this is a match at the right time, at the right level for his progression. I do think they need to keep him busy. They need to slowly but surely step up for the opposition. But I think this is a good, even match. And in reality, I think looking at the opponents that Junior's boxed, bar Billy Joe Saunders, he may actually be overmatched in regards to who he's boxed before. So Boy's last fight and Billy Joe Saunders, he may actually be overmatched. So I think it's a good match at the right time. And potentially, Junior, the kick and fight, he's got heart, he's got bottle, and to show what he did one in his last fight and with Billy Joe Saunders, who was an outstanding amateur. And Billy Joe should have really shut him out with the experience that he's got, but he didn't. So could be a force to be reckoned with after he gets confined and makes that union with Adam. I hope it works out.
Definitely, and I mean it's going to be Junior's debut on Sky. What can fans expect from Junior?
I think I don't expect a drastic change because of John forces with Adam. We're not going to see that for about a year. We are going to see what he's capable of doing. We are going to see his character. And his character, I think, is intriguing. His character is ambitious. His character is mysterious. So as long as he's matched right, as long as he's brought on right, as long as he listens, I think he'll be alright.
Definitely. And you mentioned stepping him up in terms of a class of opponents. In December, it's penciled in to fight Spike O'Sullivan. Do you think that's a fight?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and that's a handful as well. It's a handful, and it'll give us a good measure of how good he can be. Not how good he is, how good he can be. Spike O'Sullivan is no pushover. Spike O'Sullivan at this level can be a bit of a handful. He can pickpocket you, he can punch, he can bang it, he fancies it. So let's just wait and see.
Definitely. And Adam Booth is now on board. There's a press conference down in London today with another one of Adam's fighters, Andy Lee, and against Billy Joe Saunders. Do you think there could be potential for Chris Eubank Jr to fight the winner of that fight at some point next year?
Well, you know what? Yeah, of course, we're in the same division. Of course, they're hungry. The chance of it happening, you won't say it'll never happen because it can happen. It puts Adam in a predicament. It puts him in a predicament to say, what am I going to do, where am I going to go, whose corner am I going to go in. But it's a good predicament to be in. It means these fights can be made. I do think Junior's probably maybe a year away from boxing for a world title, maybe a bit longer, but it depends on how busy they keep him. I would put him in for a world title, yeah. I'd get him some experience, get him more experience, get him some more ring rounds, get him some more different shapes and sizes of fighters, and then it's not just about getting the title, it's about keeping the title. So I wouldn't consider Andy Lee at the moment, even if he could beat him or not at that moment in time.
Definitely. And all three fighters, I've seen some comments on the press conference down in London today. Both fighters commented and said they'd love to fight Golovkin at some point. Chris Eubank Jr has said he'd like to get in the ring with Golovkin. Out of the British middleweights, who do you think would be most suited to give the toughest challenge to Triple G?
Well, I can understand what Chris has said in regards to that, because if you're in the division, you've got to have an aim, you've got to have a focus, and he's at the top of the hill. I think Junior's saying that it's perfect because what he's doing is he's saying, look, this is where I want to be. Might not be ready now, but that's who I want to fight in 2 years' time. And people are just misunderstanding. He's not saying right now I beat him. He's saying I could beat him. Give me time, let me get ready, let me get my experience. And here on these shows, at the moment, Triple G has shown that there's nobody that could really put him under pressure. Nobody that could really test him. I actually think Triple G, by the time Junior's ready, will not even be in the division. He'll step up away for the more lucrative, enticing fights, which in the super middleweight division. Can you imagine Triple G against Ward, DeGale, and so forth. Abraham, you know, the list is endless. There are good fights for it to be had, and then he's cleaned up at middleweight. I'm sure he'll show a good account of himself at super middleweight. So I don't think he'll be around in the middleweight division when Junior's at that level.
No, definitely. And someone that was supposed to be headlining this bill was Kell Brook, someone you know very well from Sheffield as well. When do you think we'll be likely to see Kell again on Sky? And
these injuries take time. I've had an injury just like that. I think hopefully, you know, he's got to rest for a month, but also train. So he'll probably not be able to spar for a couple of weeks. So realistically, seeing him in the ring is no earlier than December. So it's a case of when and where.
And we've got a good couple of months coming up on Sky as well, with fights in December, of course, Klitschko Fury in November.
Michael Murray against Abraham. So we could, you know, the Brits could get another world champion.
Yeah.
So there are some good fights there.
Definitely. Oh, well, thank you so much for your time, Johnny, and hopefully speak to you soon.
We will do.